And if we look closely at the Vietnam War, the United States actually won the vast majority of the battles they fought and most of the major battles that we fought. So it raises a very interesting question. How do you decimate your enemy, win all the important battles, and lose the war? As it turns out, we don't fully understand, or at least there are multiple definitions of what winning and losing means. If you have at least one competitor, you have a game. And there are two types of game. There are finite games, and there are infinite games. A finite game is defined as known players, fixed rules, and an agreed-upon objective. Football. We all agree what the rules are before we begin play. We all agree that whoever has more points at the end of the set time period is the winner, and everybody goes home at the end, right? The game has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In an infinite game, there are known and unknown players. The rules are changeable, and the objective is to perpetuate the game or stay in the game as long as possible. When we pit a finite player versus a finite player, the system is stable. Football is stable. When we pit an infinite player versus an infinite player, the system is also stable. The Cold War was stable because we could not have a winner or a loser. And what ends up happening is the players play until one drops out because they lack the resources or the will to continue to play. They run out of the will and resources. The game continues with them or without them. The player just leaves the game, right? Problems arise, however, when you pit a finite player versus an infinite player, because one is playing to win and the other is playing to keep playing. And they make profoundly different strategic choices, which ultimately results in the finite player finding themselves in quagmire, running through will and resources trying to win. And this is what happened to the United States in Vietnam. It's not so much that the Americans lost the Vietnam War, it's that they were fighting the wrong game. Because the Americans were trying to beat the North Vietnamese, where the North Vietnamese were fighting for their lives. And a very different set of strategic choices was made, and invariably the United States will find themselves in quagmire and ran out of the will or the resources to play. They didn't lose, they dropped out of the game.